It's time to pick a side.
When the wind doesn't blow, when we had really cold days, we were reliant on importing from the EU, on coal and on gas. How are we going to replace that in the short term?
Quite frankly, I'm not a scientist. What I am doing is listening to what all the experts are saying. We're living in this insane world where the experts aren't being listened to.
So this is one of those purple-haired Just Stop Oil lunatics.
It's time to pick a side.
Bro, the fact that she... No, I'm not laughing. It's just kind of funny, like, she was just talking in between clips, and dude would say, like, she's, like, a lunatic, and then, like, show her being carted away with people with her arms. Like, what was she doing? What type of crime do you have to be doing for the police to pull you away like this? This is insane.
We don't have time to waste anymore.
Why were you arrested?
For sitting down with my friends.
Bro, why is her...
I didn't do anything. I sat on a pavement and now I've got a bit of orange paint on me and apparently that's a crime now. I'm not a criminal. I'm a scared little kid trying to fight for their future.
And to start off with, you're one of the Muppets that makes the world more insane. And she says she listens to the experts. Just watch her not listen to one fact that comes out of this guy's mouth throughout the whole debate.
The United Nations has called for no more oil and gas. The International Energy Agency has said we can have no new oil and gas. The IPCC report, the largest global report on the climate crisis, have all said we can have no new oil and gas. How many more experts need to say it?
Because we can't do it tomorrow. What are we going to do in terms of transport? That we still need petrol for cars and we need diesel for lorries. How are we going to get goods into supermarkets without this?
Yeah, and also I want to know how you travelled to that interview, how you dyed your hair, and how you probably paint your nails.
Quite frankly...
But the problem with people like this is that they don't even know what oil and gas is used for. How could we possibly function as a society if we don't use oil and gas no more? You just want it to be gone, but you don't see the negative effects it's going to have on society.
I'm not a scientist. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the world and we're living the effects of the climate crisis today. Right now, people are dying. Children are starving. Families are fleeing their homes.
And you Muppets are also doing similar things by not allowing working class people to go to work, stopping pregnant people getting to the hospital, stopping kids from getting educated. You're a pain in the arse, the lot of you.
Your parents! There's a lot of kids in that place! Come on! Move to once and let's just the bus go! You got kids in the bus! Come on guys! There's a kid in the bus! They need to go to school! You're all parents, aren't you? Do you want to speak on the side? Look, there's a kid in there! My son's gonna go for a plumber, he's missing.
So basically, the people are protesting in the middle of the road and ironically stopping kids from getting an education. Like, I don't see how you think this type of stuff is good for the economy. This kind of reminds me of when I was watching a video and some dude cemented his hand to the runway of an airport so the plane couldn't land. And his hand got stuck to the airport, so no plane could land, and he couldn't even get up. So I think they had to cut his hand off. I don't know if they did it, but he was stuck there.
Think of all the dolphins that are dying.
Hey, forget about dolphins, man. Think about animals.
Talking about dolphins.
What animal are you fucking animal? What about what are we talking about? What's animal? Are they human? Please.
What about the dolphins? What about my kids' education, you f***ing donut? How's you on about dolphins right now? This just sums it all up, to be honest.
Energy...
And it's preventable. We have the solutions.
Cheap energy is one of the things that has hugely extended life expectancy by the ability to control temperatures, whether this is by air conditioning or by heating, the ability to store food more effectively, the ability to transport food, and indeed use fertilisers to grow more food, has all been essential in increasing life expectancy. Taking all that away would be disastrous for life expectancy.
Do you know what's essential in keeping our food supply? Tackling the climate crisis. This year we lost 1/3 of our wheat crops, half of our potato crops, and it's only going to get worse. We're heading to a future where people are going to be fighting over the last loaves of bread at Lidl.
But the only way we get our wheat crop is by putting the fertilisers on that come from fossil fuels. How are we going to replace that? That the productivity of organic farming is so much lower than of modern farming methods. We cannot feed the world on organic farming, and you must know that.
So if it was a non-binary purple-haired lunatic's choice, we'd all be fucked.
How do you expect to feed the world when our crops are destroyed by droughts, floods, wildfires, storms?
You've always had weather events that have affected crops, but that actually using fossil fuels for fertilizers and moving on to genetic modification of crops has enormously increased the yield.
Bruh, this kind of reminds me of, like, have you ever heard something called, like, the Dunning-Kruger effect, where you think you know so much, but really you know nothing? This is kind of like this girl. Like, she thinks she knows so much about climate change and fossil fuels that she knows nothing. Like, she don't know even where the fertilizers for these wheat farms that she's trying to protect come from. Like, you really know nothing about this. It is crazy because she's fighting so adamantly, but she knows absolutely nothing of what's going on.
Since Malthus rate, we've increased agricultural productivity by about 2% per annum. And this is what is allowing people to get extended life expectancy because they've got more certainty of food. And this all depends on cheap energy, which has come from fossil fuels.
Jacob, you have 6 children? Do you not care about their future? Do you not care about them being able to feed themselves? Because right now, under this government's policies, your 6 children are heading towards a future that is filled with life-threatening extreme weather events, crop failures, famine, war. Suffering on a scale completely unimaginable.
I think you've taken the evidence for an evolving climate and then applied it in an extraordinarily extreme way and are forgetting about the enormous
I can't
advantages.
believe you're talking to me about an evolving climate.
Well, the climate is...
People are dying.
But this is
Do you
a
know
statement...
how many people are suffering around the world?
What evidence is there that this is because we're using fossil fuels, that the climate evolves, but more people die each year from cold than from heat, as you know?
Have you read the IPCC report? What do you mean? What science?
But in terms, you're making extreme claims, but you're suggesting by not using fossil fuels, we would not produce the food we need to feed the world population.
I'm suggesting that if we keep on heading down this genocidal path of mass destruction, then...
Bro, she's just throwing words up there, bro. She's just throwing buzzword after buzzword. This is an insane line of logic, bro. I can't believe this. She is going crazy right now. When your kids grow up, they're going to be subject to extreme heat. Bro, all jokes aside, bro, this is actually pretty alarming that people, like, live their day-to-day lives with, like, this level of ignorance. Like, it's insane to me.
Then no, there won't be any foods in the supermarket. Then we will see vast swathes of the world uninhabitable. We will see mass displacement of people.
But if you took...
But you know it'd be even crazier if, like, she was actually right. Like, let's... I would be like, dang, that's insane. What if, like, she's low-key right? That would be crazy.
Out fossil fuels tomorrow, you would simply not have the productivity of agriculture you need to feed 8 or 9 billion people. And that would be tomorrow. And I'm not saying you shouldn't reduce emissions. I'm not arguing that. I'm simply saying you must do it when you have the technology to replace the energy that you're using. Because otherwise, all the consequences you're arguing for will happen immediately. We will simply not have the food we need to feed the population of the world.
This whole debate is basically like the calm father shutting up his delusional daughter. She doesn't care what comes out of his mouth, whether they're facts or not, whether it affects the population long term. All she cares about is trying to look like the good person, a little virtue signaller, but she's probably just a little rich kid that needs some meaning in her life. She's the same muppet that vandalised the Van Gogh painting and also tries to vandalise buildings all the time.
What is worth more?
What is she doing? That's her? Bro, this lady is crazy. You saw her at the beginning of the video getting carried away by police officers. Now she's literally destroying paintings. She is a menace to society. Like, she needs to be arrested. I'm not gonna lie. Like, she is literally a menace to society. I don't understand how she's out here destroying paintings, being chased down by police officers, literally carried away from a crime scene, and she gets an interview. She should be in jail. This is crazy.
Art or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people?
If I see her, bro, I'm running the other way because I already know something crazy about to happen. Like, if I see that pink hair walking towards me with the little slick back, I'm going the opposite direction because this girl right here, she is about her business. I don't know what business. It's probably not a job or anything like that, but it's something crazy is about to happen. She gonna do something crazy if you see her, bro. See the pink hair, go the other way.
It's an embarrassment, but you can actually see in her eyes that she's loving every single minute of it. They act like they care about the human race so much, but look what they're doing. They're ruining people's days every single day. You're not helping at all.
You need to let the ambulance through. Oh,
Get out the way! Get out the way!
Yeah.
Now you've got to move. That is terrible. They are so annoyed.
They're stopping ambulances?
Oh! There is so
What? The craziest thing about oil protesters that I've noticed is that they don't even try to they don't really research anything. They just go to popular events and just destroy it. Like they stop people from going to school. They go to events, they destroy it. People's hard-earned money that they pay to go to these events, they just make it worse. They destroy paintings. They just are just menaces. They don't even seem like they're trying to make the world better. If anything, they're making it worse.
The time for words has moved to the time for action.
I'm doing this for my son. The government's inaction on climate change is a death sentence to us all.
And also, when you stop traffic like that, you're causing more pollution, you fucking donuts.
Blocking the traffic, and as a result, you're creating pollution. You're creating pollution.
Now, I've seen a lot of people dragging them off the streets and things like this. Obviously, you would if you're getting frustrated. You've got to be somewhere, or you've got a pregnant woman in the car. The ridiculous thing is, you can get in trouble for dragging them off the street in England. So honestly, I've got no sympathy when it all goes wrong for these muppets, to be honest. Take a look at these.
Protesters from the controversial Just Stop Oil group. The aim, to break in and disrupt operations. Several activists have blocked a road nearby.
How long are you going to stay here for?
Just Stop Oil has been doing this around the country for weeks now.
What are they achieving?
Well, what they're saying is they want maximum disruption to stop the government extracting oil and gas.
Right. Yeah, but that's cooking oil.
They ain't even breaking to the right oil place.
Bye, bitch.
Bro, these are just world-class menaces, bro. Like, everything they do is just menacing. The video just goes on of just menacing behavior of protesters, man. This is crazy. Anyways, if you have any more suggestions for me, comment down below.